Hi everyone, my name is Laura Barrero, and the country that I will be presenting today on is Colombia. Before I dive in and start discussing Colombia's economical, political, and geographical aspects, as well as its tourism, I would like to give a bit of a background on Colombia, talk about a few of its historical characters, and the people that are currently living there. Colombia was named after Christopher Columbus, even though he never explored Colombia itself. Its first official language is Spanish. Colombians pride themselves on speaking the true Castellano because of their strong influence and connection with the Spaniards during La Conquista. Colombia's population size is 49.07 million people. Among these people, many identify themselves with believing in the religion Roman Catholic. And among those people is current President Ivan Duque Marquez. An important historical figure of Colombia is Simon Bolivar. He is the person that gave Colombia its independence on July 20th, 1810. But aside from a true historical person that has been recognized, there's also the indigenous people. Even with their strong European influence, Colombia is a highly mestizo country. Today, it has 1.5 million indigenous people in Colombia. Therefore, there are about 87 tribes. Among those tribes is the one that I have pictured here. They are important because they created the pattern that led to what we now know as the sombrero volteado. The sombrero volteado has become a staple for Colombia's culture and representation. It acts as a symbol of patriotism. Now that we have a bit of a background on the country and we know some of its characteristics, let's look at its geographical aspects. Colombia expands from its coast to its mountain areas. The land has a lot to offer and has had to share borders since the end of Gran Colombia, which was in 1810, and the independence of Panama in 1903. Today, it's forced to share borders with Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, and Panama. Colombia's location makes for a tropical equator temperature. This is good for harvesting and gaining of resources. Cartagena and Barranquilla are Colombia's largest coastal ports and are connected to the Magdalena River. During the old times, that allowed for a lot of trade. The purple area that's shaded in the map is the mountain areas. That is where the capital of Colombia is located, Bogota. There, most of Colombia's political and economic affairs happen. Colombia's economic and political affairs are mostly located in Bogota, as we have discussed. Colombia is the most industrially diverse country of the Andes community. It has rich resources like coal, gold, nickel, coffee, and emeralds. However, even with such rich resources, one third of the population lives below the poverty line. This results in the creation and sustainability of la guerrilla groups, such as la FARC. The FARC started right after Colombia's civil war that happened between 1948 and 1958. During this time, it was called La Violencia. La FARC is a left wing rebel group who profits from the kidnapping, violence, and drug trade that happens in Colombia. However, what even today affects Colombia's political and economical climate is the distribution of cocaine. Colombia has been trying to control its drug trafficking since the 80s. However, the government has struggled to contain Colombia's drug wars due to two main aspects. The first one being consumerism in the United States and other foreign countries. The US and other foreign countries right now are willing to pay at high cost for cocaine. The second one being that Colombia's poverty line is too high. Cartels are taking this as an advantage and are creating job opportunities for farmers that cannot sustain through crop selling and are telling them to harvest coca, which is what where cocaine comes from. By creating these jobs and implementing this trust in Colombia's farms, they are creating easy labor for them and therefore protection. A person that has strategized this when he was alive was Pablo Escobar. He became a man of the people and therefore was able to have a long reign until his capture and death in 1993. However, now that Colombia has become more aware and is trying to control its drug trafficking, they are sending chemical planes to destroy harvesting farms of coca to therefore contain the production of cocaine and decrease trafficking. By destroying the coca crops, they are decreasing the cartel's inventory. This new strategy is leading to a better Colombia and therefore will lead us to more tourism. Tourism in Colombia has highly increased since the 80s. More people are traveling to Barranquilla to watch the carnivals. Technology has also increased tourism due to its publications of its beautiful areas, such as Cartagena's beautiful streets and the Rosario Islands. Music and expression of artists have also increased tourism in Colombia. This has brought a lot of income to the country. Football has become a sensation in Colombia. People lived through football and enjoyed and ignored the negativity of the country through football. It is a way of them to relax and unwind without the political stress that is happening in Colombia. Another thing that is bringing is actual tourism. The boys playing well in the World Cup increased the possibility of more tourism and therefore more income. As I researched Colombia, I reflected that, like many Latin American countries, Colombia has gone through its struggles from the beginning of history to the drug wars that had been passing through many years through the control of tourism. To conclude, I believe there is hope for Colombia. They are focusing on their political problems. President Ivan Duque is focusing on its referendum with La FARC to control those issues. He's also working on the drug wars and increasing tourism through the expansion of football and the carnavales. I believe that if this process is continued, Colombia will become a strong power in the global market.